Are homes really less affordable now? There are many headlines about how housing affordability is declining. The headlines are correct. It's less affordable to purchase a home today than it was a year ago. However, it's important to give this trend context. It is less expensive to buy a house today than it was in 2005. What about 1995? What happens if we go all the way back to 1985 or even 1975? Obviously, the price has appreciated dramatically over the last 45 years. So have the prices of gas, milk, bread, and just about every other consumable product. Prices rise over time. We know it as inflation. However, when we look at housing, price is just one component that makes up the monthly cost of the home. Another key factor is the mortgage rate at the time of purchase. I'd like to take a minute and ask you to like this video on YouTube. I'd also appreciate if you would subscribe and leave any comments you feel are relevant to this topic. I look forward to bringing you more content each week that may be specific to Texas, where I live, or usually a more national level of information to help buyers, sellers, and investors. Oh yeah, and occasionally those that like to barbecue, of course. Okay, getting back to home affordability. Let's look back at the cost of homes over the last 5 decades and adjust it for inflation by converting that cost to 2021 dollars. Here's the methodology for each data point of the table below. Mortgage amount. Take the median sales price at the end of the second quarter of each year as reported by the Fed and assume that the buyer made a 10% down payment. Mortgage rate. Look at the monthly 30-year fixed rate for that June of that year as reported by Freddie Mac. Principal and interest. Use a mortgage calculator to determine the monthly principal and interest on the loan. In 2021 dollars, use an inflation calculator to determine what each payment would be when adjusted for inflation. Green means the homes were less expensive than today. Red means they were more expensive. As the chart shows, when adjusted for inflation, there were only 2 times in the last 45 years that it was less expensive to own a home than it is today. Last year, prices saw a strong appreciation year over year, and mortgage rates have remained relatively flat. Therefore, affordability weakened. Back in 2010, home values plummeted after the housing crash 15 years ago. 1/3 of all sales were distressed properties, foreclosures or short sales. They sold at major discounts and negatively impacted the value of the surrounding homes. Of course, homes were more affordable then. At every other point, even in 1975, it was more expensive to buy a home than it is today. The bottom line is, if you want to buy a home, don't let the headlines about affordability discourage you. Well, it's true, you can't get the deal that your friend got last year, but you will still get a better deal than your parents did 20 years ago, or your grandparents did 40 years ago. I hope you enjoyed this information, and once again, as an active realtor in the northern Dallas and Fort Worth area, if you have any questions about the area or ways I can help you with your buying or selling needs, I would love the opportunity to chat with you. Until next time, happy buying and happy selling.